We are hearing big changes have got to come very soon. Otherwise, the American people are going to continue to hurt with this economy, and it's going to be curtains for the Democrats in these upcoming midterm elections. And we're hearing it could be curtains for President Joe Biden here very soon, as well as they're already on both parties getting ready to replace him. I've got video footage from the Republican and Democratic perspective on this. You're not going to want to miss it. Take a look at the headlines coming out right now. You guys, this Sunday morning, Republican and Democratic strategists, they weigh in on what Biden needs to change to stop the GOP in November. Biden's approval ratings are falling and most voters view the economy as a critical election issue, saying you need to address this inflation that's at the 41-year high, record food and gas prices, send out those stimulus checks and provisions and assistance to help out the American people that you promised over a year ago. Where is your head at with the economy? They're saying this is the number one concern, and take a look midterms. They're just 4 months away. President Biden's approval rating, they are on at historic lows, spelling trouble for the Democrats seeking to maintain the slim majorities in Congress. And numerous polls have indicated that the economy, inflation, high gas prices, and food prices are the top concerns of voters. And according to a poll from Fox back in June, more voters are saying now they trust Republicans over Democrats to address concerns about the economy. Biden's approval rating can improve all that much. Gas prices have started to drop, but inflation remains high. And survey after survey shows that American people, they are principally concerned with our current economic situation, which is still not good. And they're saying the red wave could be coming in these midterm elections, and Democrats will lose control of Congress. Now, in addition to that, they are looking to replace Biden as well. Both sides take a look at this. If not Trump versus Biden in 2024, then who here are politicians showing signs that they could be the mixed jockeying over the 2024 presidential election even before the 2022 midterms are done, and thus they're not. California Governor Gavin Newsom is picking flies with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. DeSantis and Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin are meeting with donors right now. And more than a dozen politicians have flocked to the first primary state of New Hampshire, so they're not holding back. They are ready to go, and they asked Senator Ted Cruz of Texas if he was going to be running again. They are lining up because right now, I think everybody is saying that things are not going well for President Joe Biden, and the American people are suffering as a result. People are lining up together to take control and try to get things back on track. President Biden creating his economic policies for the positive jobs report that was released yesterday, but 11 million jobs remain unfilled nationwide and inflation is still soaring. Our charge program joins us now live from just outside of the White House with the latest on all of this check. This upcoming election is going to be inflation, groceries, gas, no matter what Joe Biden wants to say about it. The American people see through the blame game. They blame him, right? So even though the administration wanted a strong jobs report, this may be a little too strong. It's nearly a foregone conclusion that the economy may slow for 2 consecutive quarters. That indicates a recession, but job growth remains torrid. The unemployment figure remains at 3.6% of 4 straight months. When I look at this report, I look at the sum of the positives here where the private sector employment is back to pre-pandemic level. We're seeing manufacturing back to the pre-pandemic level. We saw good growth and childcare workers this month, first time in quite some time. Warehousing, we see some growth where workers are demanding higher wages that could fuel prices hikes for consumers. Also, the president signed an executive order yesterday to calm his base over the recent abortion ruling. Democrats want abortion to complete with the economy in the midterms this fall. Now, midterm elections, they are based elections. Democrats want to get women to the polls, and women are protesting here at the White House right now. There's going to be citizens just outside the White House gates very shortly here. They want the White House to do more on the abortion issue more. So there you have it, you guys. That was the Republican conservative perspective on this. And now we're going to be taking a look at the Democratic perspective on this. And it's not going to sound too different. They are going to say things have got to change. They've got to start making some moves here to address the economy and help people out. But you are going to hear one of them saying that they think Democrats might still be in control, that just because things aren't showing up the way they like the Democrats in the country, they are still not going to switch over and vote Republican in that person's perspective. Now let me know if you agree or not, but take a look at the video footage. There's a lot of frustration in the country right now. I know you know, because just when you're outraged about the latest killing of yet another unnamed black man, and in disbelief that the Senate will not pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, the very intentional massive assault on voting rights amps up. And just as we're bleeding from thousand cuts, women's rights are rolled back with the overturning of Roe, and just when you're about ready to lose it, there's yet another mass shooting, and we haven't even gotten to economy, inflation, and just everyday life. So some are wondering why they actually risk it all for this hot mess gridlock government we have now, and wondering if the folks who don't feel the pain like we feel the pain can even understand the urgency for all of us. So let's talk about it. I think people need to understand, just because you may be dissatisfied with your own political party does not mean that you are not going to necessarily go to the other side, the other party. Yeah, I don't think that's the important thing here, Len, because I hear a lot of people's frustration, and I really wanted to be intentional. This is not about just crapping on the Democratic Party. I'm not the more mouthpiece for the party by any means, but it's not about this crapping on them, but saying to people how we can bring that fight and how we can keep up the momentum, because we already really are. There are not people who are being bled by 1,000 cuts right now who are frustrated. I want you to take a listen. President Biden spoke on it earlier this week, and his message to the American people was very simple. Vote. Take a listen. Write a challenge from the court. Go to the American women and men. This is the nation. The challenge is to go out and vote. Well, for God's sake, there's an election November. Vote. Consider the challenge, accept the court challenges. A lot of people don't have until November. They're feeling the brunt of death right now. So what's your message to folks who feel despondent? So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, as we get closer to these midterm elections, I've been letting you know, warning you, things are going to ramp up. We're going to be seeing more bills, more executive orders, more things for stimulus. It is very possible that in this midterm election, with the way that the economy is, that we could see stimulus provisions, bills, and even some of them turning into law getting pushed through here at the very last minute. Now we'll see. I'll keep you up to date.